This video came from YouTube.
It's trending on Twitter.
Why is it not on the news?
The Mandela effect.
Wait, what?
It's the Mandela effect.
The lion will lie down with the lamb.
Come on! I'm starting the show here. We're rolling.
Unbiased and on the fence.
Welcome to Unbiased and on the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you so much for joining. Greetings and love and light of the infinite creator to all of you all. I appreciate you being here. If you are watching on one of the other streaming services, you can join the chat on the YouTube channel Unbiased on the Fence and get in on the live chat if you'd like to. Now on this video I wanted to cover the event, who and when, because you know everybody's on the edge of their seat saying, when's this thing going to happen? It's close to the end of the month. Is it ever going to happen? Is it going to happen this month? And you know, we've said it plenty of times before, it's really difficult to nail down an exact time, especially when you consider the fact that time from outside of this time-space realm, if you will, is difficult to nail down. So if you do want to jump right ahead to the information on who and when, and you are one of the impatient ones, you can just go directly to the article linked below and read it for yourself. It's the one labeled "The Great Event is Coming," and yeah, the link's down there if you want to jump right ahead. I have a few things to cover before I get to that information. So without further ado, Jose is sending me stuff. Are you not in the chat, Jose? I don't normally stop to chat, but show is going, Jose. Okay, there we go. Cute picture she sent me. That is a cute little kid you got there, or grandkid I should say. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to go over today was this incredible article that was sent to me. Why is it so crooked? Ah, that's why it's crooked. Here, I'll play it from here, that way it runs a little bit smoother, but let me kill that camera. I think it'll run a little smoother. Okay, so a big thank you for Jennie Page. She sent me this article that just came out. It was on Fox 10. If you're in Arizona, you might have seen it live, but it just came out yesterday, March 26th. And let me play a little piece of this because this is pretty cool.
Western skies. A lot of stories getting some talk this morning. That sight in the southwestern skies last night. People from Blythe, California, all the way to here in the valley, the West Valley, spotted this strange scene, sending us their pictures and videos. We are working to figure out what it is, but we have confirmed that Vandenberg Air Force Base didn't have any kind of a launch last night. Some say they thought that it was more of a cloud than any type of a contrail. You can surely go onto our Fox 10 Phoenix Facebook page if you have a few ideas.
And I thought that was pretty interesting. Thank you, Jennie, for sending that over. And yeah, you can, this is also linked below. You can go and check out these images full screen if you'd like, because I know it's kind of small, along with the chat. For those that's watching live or those watching later, I've got half the screen taken up, but it does have some images here. And what I liked about this is that it came from several different, as you can see the names here, these are different individuals. What is that, at least 4 or 5 different people that captured this, sent it into the news, and they put it on the news. Now Allison Coe sent me footage. I had to track it down. Luckily they had the allawesome.net on the screen. I was able to find it, but this was taken in Jerusalem. Check this out. I'm going to mute it because all there is wind going. Now both Alice and I were just, this was jaw-dropping for us. We were like, what? What's going on with this? But the only problem I have with this is that I couldn't find any other. You'd think if something like this was in the sky, you would have more than one clip of it. And so yeah, but you can kind of see the rainbow in there. It's really amazing looking, but I just really don't know what to make of it, being that I can only find one shot of it. Like I said, this is Jerusalem, and just a few days back. Really crazy, but it just sort of fades out. And when I was checking out some of the other clips on there, I'm going to look into it a little bit deeper and find out what else I can find on it, because some of the other clips were pretty amazing too, like a little too amazing. I want to play this clip that Karen sent in to me. Let me go full screen for this because I don't have a link for this, so this is the original that she sent in that I want to play for you all, of the sky flickering, the sun. It's pretty amazing. It's a short clip. And that is that. Pretty wild stuff. You can see the flickering, and I just noticed that myself the other, I mentioned it in a previous show about I was going to bed and I closed my eyes and I was noticing this flickering, and it made me open my eyes to see if I was noticing something in the room just through my eyelids flickering, but it was just in my eyes. And then I was out the night before last looking up at the sky, and it was almost unnoticeable, but the whole sky seemed like it was flickering, pulsating a little bit. And I was like, am I really seeing that? And I kept watching it, and it seemed like it was flickering. Not sure if it was in my eye or in the sky, but it was mind-blowing stuff. So on to this event information that I came across, and this has actually been around a little bit, but I wanted to I have the link posted below. You can check it out for yourself. But I wanted to bring it up here because simply for the fact that, let me see if I can scoot this over a little bit so you guys can read along with it. Actually, let me switch to this other one. It might be a little more visible. Yeah, just a little bit better. Because I had a little commentary to go along with this. This is the if, or sorry, not the if. It's going to happen. It's imminent, the event that they're talking about. And I think we've been seeing series of events leading up to this. And so this kind of gets into the who, because it breaks it down into 4 different groups of people that will experience the event, and sort of a when. And so I'll get right into it. My dearest friends, it is with great delight, joy, and immense love that I bring you an important Ascension update. The time is now for all who are ready to return to love. You, my beloved light workers, have been patiently waiting for this for a long time, for a magnificent, miraculous event such as this one can occur at the perfect, can only occur at the perfect divine timing. We, the company of heaven, must wait until the frequency of light on planet Earth is high enough to trigger the event, and until everyone who has at the higher level decided to ascend is sufficiently ready. We all have worked hard for this massive project for thousands of Earth years, for what felt like eons in your linear concept of time. The amount of highly evolved light beings participating in this grand adventure number in the trillions, located on both sides of the realms, physical and non-physical. And you are among them. Your dedication, hard work, courage, perseverance, immense victories over seemingly impossible to overcome challenges, and all the experiences that you had gone through in current and past lives have brought you right to this point. They have made you ready. And the time is now for all of you to reap the rewards. Yay! This message is designed to give you a clear, easy to understand, and thorough understanding of the coming great event. Let us begin with the following question. What is the great event? You may have heard of the event mentioned in passing in other messages, blogs, or books, and for some of you, this may be the first time you have come across this information. Simply put, the event is a singular, cosmic, completely visible, planetary scale explosion of divine light and love on Earth. These powerful waves of divine light and love will come straight from God's source, channeled through the great central sun. They will pass through the galaxy and planetary systems to arrive and encompass all of the Earth in one single moment, reaching all living within the planet at the same time. Gaia and all of her inhabitants will be able to see and feel the event, and not a single person will remain unaffected afterwards. What is likely to happen during the event? During the event, all incarnate souls will feel a powerful, undeniable surge of the following feelings all mixed in together: unconditional love, divine bliss, complete acceptance of who you are, divine grace, blessings, and strong feelings of finally being home again. During this powerful energy surge, some of you will be able to witness the appearance of an ascended master, leaders, founders of the religions, faiths that you believe in or have a close spiritual connection with. For example, if you are a Christian, you may see a vision of Lord Jesus and will be able to talk to him personally. If you are a Buddhist, you may see a vision of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, and be able to have a private conversation with him. Sorry if I butchered that name. I was raised Christian, not Buddhist. So you will instantly be able to recognize who they are by the very powerful light and loving vibrations they emanate, and by your own eternal connection with the souls of these powerful, highly evolved light beings. Even after reading what is written above, it will be challenging for most of you to even imagine what the event will feel like, because you do not yet have a previous life experience as a starting point of reference to compare it with from within this lifetime. However, some of you reading this had experienced something similar to the event during your meditation, spiritual awakening, but on a much smaller scale. If you belong to this latter group, bear in mind that whatever you had previously felt in the past, you will feel all of the above feelings again, but magnified more than 1,000 times during the coming event. What will happen to everyone after the event, however, is where it gets a little bit tricky to explain. Everyone of you will perceive and process the event differently, depending on the type of soul group you belong to among the 4 different soul groups below. Group number 1. Group 1 consists of awakened souls, of light workers. All of you who are reading this, you will know and understand the event for what it truly is. It is the great catalyst that will simultaneously mark the beginning of Nova Gaia, Utopia Earth, and mark the end of times, the end of life as you have previously known it in third-dimensional Earth. You had been awakened earlier than most of humanity for a very important reason. You have been entrusted to be the guides, the way-showers, and the leaders of fifth-dimensional living. You all have been training and preparing for this moment in time for a very long time, and are now completely ready to take up the mantle of leadership and be the teachers, mentors, trainers you have come here to be. The blueprint of your life, the next steps that you need to take, the role that you will assume after this great event will be revealed to you in greater depth and clarity by your higher selves and your spirit team. Most of you answered your calling and have begun already settled into these light work roles anyway by now, in some way, shape, or form. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Jemima Puddle Duck. I'm just doing my little part. As leaders of the fifth dimensional way of life, you will receive constant guidance and direct assistance from the galactic brothers and sisters from many highly evolved advanced civilizations. You will enjoy the lessons these galactics will provide to help with the planetary healing of Gaia, as well as the formation of Nova Earth. Many new fifth dimensional structures are now ready to be put into place, and your spiritual powers will be fully awakened and start to develop at a faster rate. You will learn how to master your thoughts, since humanity will soon be a race of beings who predominantly communicates via telepathy. Mastering your thoughts is the first step to mastering the art of creation and manifestation, and your galactic brothers and sisters will greatly help you on this as well. And when your lessons with them are complete, you will then go out into the world to share this knowledge with others, so that all humans on planet Earth will one day be the living embodiment of their higher selves. All will become powerful creators and manifestors. Earth will become a planet that only consists of loving beings who truly embody oneness and unity, of masterful beings who have ascended to the fifth dimension. And there I need to insert a cheer and a yay and a hurrah. I love this. Okay, now this is group 2. Now, for a lot of people, this is going to sound, for me anyway, it sounded like what the, when I realized the Mandela effect was really happening, and I felt triggered, like awakened by seeing those things. For me, that was sort of like this group 2 will, a lot of people will experience what I experienced about a year ago when I realized there was more going on than what I thought. They'll have that same type of reaction to the big event that's coming. And this is group 2. Group 2 consists of unawakened souls who at a higher level have decided to ascend in this lifetime. For this group, the event will trigger tremendous shock, confusion, and cause them to initiate research into greater understanding on what exactly has happened to them. The event can be likened to the loudest wake-up call they ever heard in their entire lives, one that can no longer be ignored. They will start with a sense of deep urgency that only they can feel, to seek and attract into their lives guidance from you, my beloved lightworker friends. They will intuitively find the perfect mentor for them, who possess the higher knowledge needed to help them move forward in their own great path of light. Spiritual development will become their main focus in life, and with time, as they grow more spiritually mature, these souls will also come into a full remembrance of their true higher selves and strive to embody divine love in their everyday lives. Now that describes me perfectly over the last year when, like I said, I came across the Mandela effect and realized that things aren't what I thought they were. So it's nice to know that a lot of the people that are still asleep at this time, this great event will trigger what was triggered in me a year ago, and they'll feel that urgency that I felt when I just really started striving to figure out what was going on. And then there's group 3. Group 3 consists of unawakened souls who, at a higher level, have decided not to ascend in this lifetime. They will still feel the intensity of the great event and also experience all the feelings that come during it. However, after it is over, they will slowly return to life within the third dimensional paradigm. Even if they were to come across real and authentic news about the event and what it signifies, their inner reaction will be strong: doubts, disbelief, and denial. The event is the greatest wake-up call to all incarnate souls on planet Earth who are currently still sleeping. This group of souls, however, is sleeping too deeply and have, at a higher level, decided not to wake up in this lifetime. Thus, the event will not trigger any interest in all spiritual things spiritual, as they are not at the phase where spiritual development becomes a priority. In other words, they are not mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually ready to ascend right now in this current lifetime. Then we got group 4, and we all know who these guys are. Group 4 consists of unawakened souls who, at a higher level, have decided to play the roles of the darks in this lifetime. If you haven't already done it, please read this channel's last week message titled "Embracing the Dark" for more information about this particular group of souls. There are 2 types of darks in this particular soul group. One, who are in the know of what is happening on Earth right now and another who are completely in the dark and have no idea or care about the event and what it means. Those who are in the know, who have so far actively and deliberately tried to prevent and stop the spiritual awakening of humanity, will come to a sudden realization that their time has now come to a complete end. Yay! They will know that all is lost for their dark purpose cause, as humanity will no longer hold any interest in living in the type of lower vibrational, third-dimensional consciousness these darks thrive in. All the souls in Group 4 will be faced with only two possible paths to undertake after the great event. Path A is the path of a possible return to the light and love of their higher selves. This is the path that offers one final last chance for these souls to embrace the light and return to their divine origins in this current lifetime. For the souls who are choosing this, great courage is needed to walk the path. They all have to come clean with all the wrongs they had done in this current lifetime, i.e. all the things that were harmful to the planet and or harmful to the people, groups, societies, citizens of their own countries. All will be disclosed anyway, in one way or another. Nothing can remain hidden in Nova Gaia. And that reminds me of Jesus when he said, in that one scripture, he said, the things whispered in the inner room will be shouted from the rooftops. Totally sounds like this. You know, nothing remaining hidden. Every human being on the planet will one day find out all the wrongs that had been done to them by this group of souls whose previous purpose was to have power over others and satisfy their greed. Every harmful action they had ever been a party of, either directly or indirectly, will come under intense scrutiny. Spiritual leaders from Soul Group 1 from all across the world will be selected to come forward and represent humanity, to decide what to do with all the souls in Group 4 who have decided to walk Path A. If you are selected to be one of these spiritual leaders, and many of you reading this article will be, please remember what I had said at the end of my last week's message through this channel. Here it is again. You are called to be the voice of reason, the voice of love. You will be called to be the anchors of a fifth dimensional way of being, the way of unconditional love. You will be the voice of calm, the voice of peace. You will speak and stand up in front of many citizens of Earth and persuade them to choose the way of unconditional love, the way of forgiveness, and the way of letting go of the past. These leaders will first have to assess the true intention of all who belong to Group 4. There must be true remorse, a genuine intention to reform, and a willingness to surrender to the decisions of not only the selected spiritual leaders, but also the group of people they had harmed in the past. The leaders will have the ability to detect all deceits and lies they may be given by some of these souls. A deliberate attempt to deceive and lie will definitely fail. In the event where some of these souls' true intentions is just to, one way or another, escape the consequences they are being forced to face. Only those with the most genuine of intention to make amends, reconcile, and pay for their mistakes, and adopt the fifth dimensional way of living in the spirit of love, unity, peace, and abundance for all, will eventually be forgiven, embraced, and continuously guided so that they will once again walk the path of one living in the light. After going through the above assessment, if, when it is found that some souls are so lost in the dark that nothing further can be done to return them back to the path of light, i.e., this will likely be Group 4 souls who are in the know, then Path B is the only option these souls can undertake. No other path will be allowed. Path B is where the souls will have to be returned, transitioned, or merged back to the light of Source, back to God's loving embrace in the spirit realm, to then be reborn, reincarnated to a different third-dimensional planet that still supports duality, fear, lack, and separation consciousness. Their return to the light of Source will happen in a loving, respectful manner. These souls will be allowed to continue to engage their own great path of light by living in another low vibrational planet and play the roles of the darks until they are ready to reunite with the light and love of their higher selves. There is one important point to remember here. God has given each soul the free will to do whatever it wishes with the life she had been given. There is no judgment, no condemnation. Every single soul who currently belongs to Group 4 has pre-birth at a higher self level decided whether to follow the path of A and ascend now in this lifetime, or path B and ascend later in their future lifetimes elsewhere once they become ready. Your job, all of my beloved light workers currently reading this, is to lead and live by example. You must be one of the first ones to step up and show your willingness to embrace, forgive, and let go of the wrongs these souls in Group 4, Path A, had done prior to the Great Awakening, prior to the Great Event. Now here comes the big question that I'm sure everyone reading this is asking within. When is the great event supposed to take place? There had been many different answers. Some channels recently reported that it will happen soon, this very month, in late March 2018. Some wrote that it will happen before the end of this year. Others predicted it will occur much later, perhaps between 3 to 10 years time from now. Which one of these answers is the correct one? Predicting the future is a risky business. This is why when you go to visit two different psychics at two different times, say one visit in your early 20s and another in your early 30s, there is a big possibility that these psychics will give you two different, very different answers to the same question you had asked them out of the infinite number of potential future realities lying ahead of you, i.e., the probable timelines. These psychics can only provide predictions based on your vibration and intentions you held at the time of your visit. Every single person you met in life who played a part in your life back then, or who would in the future timeline play a part in your life, will have the power to change your probable future. It is really forks in the road stuff for everyone who will play a potentially significant role in your life. In the case of the timing of this great event, however, the risks of a misprediction is magnified a millionfold. There are many micro and macro factors coming from the human collective that can influence time and space to produce a different timeline than what was originally predicted, estimated, forecasted. That being said, here comes our final answer to your big question. With presumptions that all things are matters continue to develop at their current velocity of change, there is a 56% possibility that the event will probably take place within the next 3 to 6 months from today. This answer is based on current light data and planetary vibration level of Earth. Please do not be disappointed if it comes slightly later than the above forecast. There is even a 30% chance that it will take place before the above time range. That's not bad odds, 1 in 3. And the thing is, we can take part in controlling that. So the most important thing to bear in mind, regardless of when the event will actually occur, is that this cosmic, magnificent, and miraculous spiritual event is inevitable. It will definitely happen. The light is already victorious. Absolutely nothing can prevent Nova Earth from being manifested into your physical reality right here, right now. It will soon be time for you to join the extremely lively celebrations now already going on in heaven, in the higher dimensional realms. Cheers and great joy are resonating throughout all the galaxies in this universe. The entire galactic community, all of your brothers and sisters of light from your past, future timelines, lifetimes in the higher dimensions, in different races, civilizations, stand ready to embrace and welcome all of humanity into their fold, into the spirit of oneness and unity with all that is. These are truly great times you are living in. Please deeply recognize the honor you had been given by being physically embodied on planet Earth whilst this great change is happening. Let us give our profound heartfelt thanks and loving gratitude to Father, Mother, God, Source, Prime Creator for this great gift of love. Thanks for the subscriber. Great gift of love, and to Mother Earth, Gaia, for her deep enduring love and the sacrifices she had given for all of humanity throughout the eons of time. There's truly nothing extra for you to do from this moment onward, my beloved light workers. Continue to shine your light and live every day fully committed to your own magnificent great path of light and a high vibrational way of living. Please also continue to walk around every day acting like you are the embodiment of your higher selves and acting as if Nova Earth is already here. Both facts in the great now moment are definitely true and not a false belief at all. All of us here in the higher dimension bow to you all in great respect, love, gratitude, and much admiration for your continued participation, courage, bravery, and hard work in creating and physically manifesting Nova Earth. We will continue to be your loving, supportive work partners in this grand ascension project, all the way through to its completion, to the very end. I am walking with you every step of the way. Call out for help whenever you need it. We all stand ready to assist. You are never alone. Sending much love and light your way. Your brother in light, Sananda. And of course, this is linked below. I did link the site that they said if you repost this, you need to put this link, but I did put links to the individual articles as well. And okay, so this was pretty interesting. You know, you can see how time, and this goes right along with what Allison Coe was getting, and you can see how, oh, thank you, Michelle. You can see how at different times that, you know, with Allison Coe and her different sessions she does, things are different at those different times. Things are vibrating. Welcome to the new subscriber. Things are changing at those moments of time, and you can see why it sort of varies a little bit. And while I'm thinking about it, I wanted to do a quick announcement. Michelle Wolfe, I put her link in the description below. She is the last week's guest that was having the prophetic dreams, and I did post it. She got her channel up going, and I did post the link to that so you can see. She goes into more detail about the event and the prophetic dream she had surrounding the event. And our initial call that we did, she talked more about that, but when we went live, some of the details was left out, but those are actually in this video she just posted, and you can check it out below. And thank you, Biker Babe. And you can check it out below and get more information on that. I know a few people in the comments had questions about her dreams. Okay, let me see here. Okay, I had another one I wanted to read. It's from this same website, and it came out a little more recently. That really resonated with me. To be or not to be? That is the question. Father God, the 27th of March. It's hot off the press. The other previous one came from the 12th of March. And like I said, it had been on different, it had been presented on different sites already. So you guys, if it sounded familiar, you might have heard it on a few of the other ones. I just really wanted to point out the fact that there was different groups, and people will experience it differently, and like we were saying before with a lot of us that saw the Mandela effect was happening, and then we tried to talk to people about it, and it was like these people would you know, hear what we're saying and then just sort of deny it or go into denial about it. All of those things are going to happen again with this event, so not to be surprised about it. But a lot of the people, I think, that were sort of on the fence about the first, the Mandela effect, and some of the other awakenings that's happened in previous times, I think they will actually move on to another group. So in essence, it's kind of funny. When I was reading the group thing, it made me realize that I'm sort of on the fence trying to get people from one group to the other in a way. You know, those people that are sort of unsure, they're like wanting to go back to sleep. I'm like trying to get people that are on the fence in the different groups into the next one. Like, no, don't go back to sleep, come on over here. And all these people, no, you're actually supposed to be over here helping wake people up. And you know, it's, I got this visual in my mind when I was thinking about sharing this with you guys. And I think a lot of us are like that. You know, we're the people that's supposed to encourage people to not to go back to sleep, or to look in deeper, or to actually come over and start helping wake other people up. Because a lot of light workers that are, because I know if I was asleep at one point, and I feel like I'm a light worker, that there's others that still haven't even heard about the Mandela effect or any of these other things happening, Rainbow Mountains, and just the world changing all around us. And once they start waking up to that, it will help for them to have encouragement from many of you in the chat, to encourage them to keep looking, to keep searching for more of a spiritual, you know, all things spiritual, really, to a deeper look in the meaning of life itself and everything. So when I came across this other thing that just came out today, I wanted to share it with you all. I will read this. Plus the dog was real cute. So anyway, let's see here. My beloved children, today I would like you to remember another higher dimensional concept that you are now ready to embrace. Every day you are getting closer and closer to Nova Gaia. With every message channeled, we are fulfilling our promise to you. A promise to remind you of... Oh, thanks, Wendy. I promise to remind you of the truth of who you are, where you came from, and what you can be. Peel back that volume a little bit. Every single one of these messages contain divine light codes meant to awaken you more and more to the wise, powerful, multi-dimensional being that is your higher self. These messages are written to help you permanently break, shatter, and destroy all third-dimensional concepts, beliefs that are very deeply entrenched within you, and then awaken you to the higher dimensional concepts, beliefs that many of you have forgotten after being physically embodied on earth for so long. What if I tell you that you are all gods and goddesses? You are all infinite expressions of my divine self. Individually, this means you are also of divine origins, made in the same likeness of me, i.e., you possess all of my powerful divine attributes. When I created you, I imbued your inner essence with my divinity, with my godly attributes, and this makes you, my beloved child, the same powerful creator that I am. I am you, you are me, we are one, united in every way, always. One of my beloved daughters by the name of Elaine had created a beautiful song, You Are Me, inspired by, who else? Laughed. That perfectly describes your oneness with me and with all. People who are reading this particular message can perhaps be categorized into 3 different groups. Those in group 1 will find my above message very hard to believe, perhaps due to their own strong feelings of inadequacy or lack of control in their own lives. These people have truly forgotten their inner power, their spiritual powers of creation and manifestation. Group 2 contains people who have in the past been too thoroughly indoctrinated in the systematic organized beliefs of all earthly religions. They may find my statements downright sacrilegious, blasphemous, and believe with absolute certainty that all information that directly contradicts their religious teachings are false information intended to steer them off of their holy paths. Oh, thank you so much, Douglas. Okay. And there's group 3. Group 3 are all of you who have been spiritually awakened and have chosen to ascend in this lifetime. You are attracted to these messages because they resonate with your heart, your inner barometer of truth. Your entire being, mind, body, emotion, and spirit is now ready to open up to the divine, higher wisdom that I am always here to remind you of. The wisdom that has always been deeply buried within you, waiting for the right time to be revealed. And that time is now. For those of you who belong in group 1 or 2, this is my message to you all. My beloved children, as always, you are free to believe or disbelieve the wisdom I have just reminded you of today. You can choose to continue to feel and or behave as you yourself or others have told you to be, inadequate, fearful, out of control, small and powerless, and or as sinners in the eyes of God. You are free to continue to put yourself down in a position that is lower than me and or lower than any other higher dimensional light beings in this universe. You can continue to put me and or certain selected ascended masters, religious masters, onto a pedestal that is located much higher than where you are. You are free to believe that the place where they are is a destination where you can never reach. You are free to believe what they could do to demonstrate their inner divine powers during their physical incarnations you can never do. You are also free to continue to believe in the fear, separation, and lack of consciousness. My children, you will always have the freedom to believe in anything you want. It all comes down to this. Do you want to choose love or fear, lack or abundance? Do you wish to experience a physical reality where you are one and united with God and with all in your planet? Or do you wish to experience its polar opposite, living in the illusion of separation from God and all that is? All of the ascended masters whom you have worshipped and labeled as gods, goddesses in your faith's religions had once walked on earth exactly like you. They are powerful divine souls walking around in their human disguise. They are all my beloved sons and daughters, just like you, and our beloved sons and daughters. These ascended masters are powerful, just like your own higher selves are powerful. In their famous physical incarnations as leaders or founders of your religious faiths, they also had individually gone through the process of spiritual awakening and enlightenment. They had successfully ascended from their lower, third-dimensional way of thinking, being, behaving. They did that by consciously choosing and making a full commitment to be the embodiment of the Christ consciousness in their everyday lives and surrender to the divine light God spark. Welcome, Napoleon. Let's see. And surrender to the divine light God spark that is within them. That is within all. Christ consciousness is not related to a specific religion. It is a state of being where one is fully embodying the divine, unconditional love and unity with all. The following proverbs perfectly describe the function of all earth-based religions or faiths. All roads lead to Rome. Elaine Delisle, I guess. There are many paths to the top of the mountain, but the view is always the same. Chinese proverb. The first proverb means that there are many different ways of reaching the same goal or conclusion. In the second proverb, the mountaintop is your true home with me, or being in a state of perfect oneness with me. The view is always the same means that no matter which route you took, the result, the outcome is always the same. You will always find me there, in perfect union with you. Throughout the ages, countless wars had been fought, countless people had died, fighting to prove the supremacy and dominance power of one belief, one religion over another. They were trying to prove that their path, their religion, belief, faith, is the best and the only path to God, to me. This is complete and utter madness. And if you think this only happened in your ancient past, think again. This is still happening now in many parts of your planet. History has a way of repeating itself. It is time for the human collective to adopt a new way, a new paradigm, a new way of thinking, being, and doing. A way that is based on love and unity for all. A way of inclusivity instead of exclusivity. You will always have the freedom and the free will to believe what you want to believe, as long as you give others that same courtesy and respect that you are giving yourselves. It is now time to decide whether you are happy to just stay like you are, just like you have always been, or whether you are ready to open up your hearts to the possibility that you are meant to be something greater. There is no judgment, no pressure. You have all at a higher level pre-birth made your decision to either spiritually awaken now or not to awaken now. There is no right or wrong. One decision is not better than the other. It all depends on your readiness level, in your own evolution as the eternal spirit that you are, to embrace your higher dimensional selves. For the rest of you who find yourselves belonging to Group 3, there are plenty of amazing wonders to look forward to. You will find that as you grow more spiritually awakened, life will flow with perfect ease, joy, passion, fulfillment, and harmony. After you have done your inner cleansing and clearing, after you have gone through the process of complete realignment and complete surrender of your life to your higher self path purpose, your life will undergo massive, powerful, and positive changes. Abundance in all aspects of your life will zoom straight into your life with practically zero or little effort. As you learn to put yourself in the receiving mode instead of staying in the third dimensional mode belief of having to work hard to live the abundant life that you have been asking for. Every day you will wake up feeling so joyful and grateful for the many blessings you have received, are receiving, and will continue to receive in the future. You always have the complete power to create your life exactly the way you want it to be. It is now time to break down all restricting beliefs. Make the intention to eliminate once and for all third dimensional ways of being, ways of thinking, and ways of behaving. Make the full-time commitment to embody your higher self every single moment of every single day, and most of all, make the intention to embrace your highest, best potential of what you can be, do, and have. I now tell you solemnly, everything that you can imagine to be, do, and have already existed in the realm of potential and have already been manifested in your future realities timelines. You just need to tune in and align your entire being to what you want to do, and have, for them to manifest into your current physical reality. Let's see here. Let me give you a few examples of very powerful third dimensional beliefs. Thank you, Fred. 1. Most of you believe that as you get older, your bodies also age. You then go through the process of aging, and before long, your 50 or 60-year-old selves no longer look like your 20 or 30-year-old selves. You also believe that it is normal for you to get sick when you get older, as you get nearer to the supposed end of your life journey, of this life journey. Now, let me tell you a little secret, my child. Your bodies are designed to be the physical vessel of your spirit, your higher self soul, indefinitely. Your bodies do not have an expiration date, except for the dates you have set for yourselves. You can choose to live in this physical body you are currently living in for as long as you would like. All of you have the powers to heal yourselves of all sickness and disease, and all so-called disabilities. And here comes the best reminder ever. You also have the power to reverse all signs of aging and return to the optimal physical condition that you wish to enjoy. Whatever physical condition your body currently has, It is your job now to decide whether you wish to stay as you are or whether you want to embrace your powerful creator abilities and change it to the way you want it to be. To be or not to be, that is truly the question. Your powerful higher self, your spirit soul, are the master of your body and not the other way around. In all spiritually advanced civilizations out there in this universe, those who have chosen to incarnate in a physical light body lived to, on average, between 300 to 1,000 years old. Some beings are way older than that. It all depends on their individual decision. When it is time for them to transition to a different form, to a different expression of self, they will then consciously choose the physical death of their body and move on with perfect ease. There is no suffering, no pain, no sickness, disease. Death is simply a door they walk through to move on to a different journey in their great path of light. 2. Let us now address another big third-dimensional concept of money. I am sure after reading my last message through this channel, you are now wondering how on earth can you as a society live without money? How will people earn a living? You were perhaps even thinking fearful, negative thoughts such as the entire world will crash and burn and stop functioning without the existence of money. This is my answer to your third-dimensional reactions. Ascension to the fifth-dimensional paradigm will not happen all in the course of one day. Even the great event that will soon occur is just another wake-up call directed more for the souls who are still deeply sleeping. It is not the end of the ascension process. If anything, it is the beginning of the ascension process for the people who will be awakened then. All aspects of human existence will be transformed, and many of these transformative processes will take years to complete, not months, weeks, or days. We have done massive, extensive preparations. All is almost ready to proceed. The foundations have been set so that humanity's path to becoming a fifth-dimensional society will be one with the least amount of chaos and happen with relative ease. There will be massive wealth distribution to many impoverished parts of the world, and many light workers will be given access to the Nisara Gesara funds. These funds will be used to improve the standards of living for all citizens. Welcome, Joan. To improve all the standards of living of all citizens of this planet. And one day, when all are finally living in a state of abundance, in a state of having their every need fulfilled, only then the dependence on money will be greatly reduced. In time, money will become obsolete and cease to exist. We would like you to now challenge every single belief that you have on anything in your life right now, at this moment, at this very moment. Ask yourself, is this belief coming from the lower third-dimensional consciousness of fear, lack, powerlessness, and separation, or from the higher fifth-dimensional consciousness of love, abundance, powerfulness, and unity? Broaden your perceptions. Banish all negativity. Think outside the very restrictive third-dimensional box that you... Welcome, Michael. Third-dimensional box that you have been living in. Invite your higher selves to take control and change your lives into the most wonderful, the most amazing, highest expressions of yourself for this lifetime. Have complete faith and trust that the road less traveled your higher selves are taking you to will lead to a future that is far beyond your wildest dreams, your biggest imaginations. Surrendering to the divine love and wisdom of your higher self is really the fastest and most joyful way to get to the life that you have been dreaming about. The choice is yours, my beloved child. What will you now choose to be, do, and have? Feel my unconditional love surrounding you at every moment. You are the apple of my eye. You, my beloveds, are always supported, guided, and protected in this physical... Welcome, Peggy. Guided and protected in this physical adventure that is your life on Earth. Sending you all my love, Father God. And once again, link is in the description. So yeah, I just this really resonated with me, and it sort of I don't know, it's just a great reminder of how, you know, some religions say, you know, it's blasphemous to say that we're God, but it's, you know, at the same time it's blasphemous to say I exist without being brought to life by God, the God force, the creator. So I mean, you can completely see it the other way around as well, and I think it's important for us to uh, change up our perspective sometimes. Sometimes we're viewing things from a perspective that was given to us by others, and we can't see it any other way. And I think, you know, when I looked at all the different, when I just happened to look at all the different ways that people talk about just how things are going to play out, and if it doesn't really align with other information they heard, they assume it's bad information. And I noticed that with a lot of information, it can all be true, even though it doesn't sound right. And it's just, you need to change the perception, or the perspective, I should say, that you're viewing it from, because it can be like, you know, three people are at a concert describing what the event was like. One was on the first row, you know, with the sweat of the artist getting flung on them, and one person's up in the balcony and somebody's over off on the side somewhere, and they're all going to explain the event different ways, and hearing them separately, they might sound like three different concerts they were all at, especially if the one's down in the mosh pit, for the younger people who know what that is, when everybody's sort of running around crashing into each other. But so if something doesn't sound like it matches with what you've heard, sometimes it just requires you change seats in the auditorium to say, oh yeah, it does look like that from over here, rather than the information being bad. So I think that's really important to do, to realize that, you know, if somebody says, like yesterday, people were like, 6 years, what the heck, 6 years? But, you know, even in the thing I just read, it explains that it's a process, you know, and I just don't want things to stay like they are for another 6 years. But the way it sounds like, things are going to be progressing, things are going to be getting better and more tolerable. It's just a lot of people, light workers in general, starseeds, that are just worn out and want to go home. Things would be a lot easier for them if they're able to, you know, tap into some of their healing powers and heal themselves of some of the pain that they're in constantly, or if, you know, they don't have to see the suffering that goes on in the world on such a grand scale. If they started seeing progress being made, it would make this a lot more tolerable of an experience. So it's really a matter of becoming content with knowing that we don't have to worry. Things are progressing, and the more we worry about it, actually, the more we're actually slowing down the train, if you will. We're dragging our feet along the side and slowing down the car, if you will. So as long as we can just keep on trucking, that's the thing I keep hearing, is just keep on trucking, things are going, keep everyone else motivated and trucking, and we're going to make this thing happen. And the more we keep on trucking, the faster it'll happen. And that's really all I have for you guys. Let me look through the chat here. Thanks everybody for helping out with the gifts. They sure do help, and I do appreciate that. And that was one of the things that, you know, I when I started doing this, and it wasn't a lucrative business, let me say. I wasn't really worried about it. I'm like, you know what, I just know things will work out. And here it's been over a year and things are still working out. And so yeah, just I would say that if you have an inclination or a desire or a drive to do something, I wouldn't worry about anything. You know, how am I going to make this happen? Things will just fall into place when you get in alignment with what you're supposed to do in your life. And because then you have everything working for you, and you've got unlimited resources that will help you along your path. And I can speak to that. I can't say that I can give everybody the faith they need, but I personally felt like I've got to do this. I don't care what happens. You know, I just know that things are going to work out, and things have worked out. And, you know, I'm not rich or anything, but you know, I'm not on the street either, so things have always worked out, and I'm so thankful for all of you guys for helping me continue to do what I'm doing. It's a big thank you. I did see some stuff going by. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate that. And Willie. Yes, I heard about the eclipse. Yeah, that's actually what Nathan was saying in yesterday's broadcast. That it was a 7-year period. And I heard the same thing from Jacob Israel. He was talking about the 7 years apart for the solar eclipse, how they make it X over America, and that was the 7 years of tribulation. I don't know. I take all that information and put it on the shelf. Maybe that looks right, like I was just saying a few minutes ago about your perspective, where you're looking at it from. Maybe that looks accurate from a certain perspective. I don't really push any information out, because typically a lot of times you'll find like, oh, that still works if you're looking at it from here. So I sort of put things on the shelf and move them into little collections of what seems like they work. And I want to thank all the mods for, you guys probably got it easy. You're just in there just sharing the love with everybody else. I don't see having any problem with trolls or anything. But yeah, these are exciting times, you guys, and I am so excited. Let me see here. What did I miss, Biker Babe? There are 100. You know what I have on slow chat, and it is still cranking. I guess, well, there's 262 people in here right now. So it does help when you guys, oh, I see. You're getting the likes to 100. You guys are awesome. I can't see the likes from this page I'm on, the dashboard, but I do appreciate giving it a thumbs up. You guys are awesome. And I'm going to keep this information going. I'm going to try to keep doing it on a daily basis. I did miss Sunday because of the weather and other stuff, but I do have other guests planned to come on, and I'm loving everything. And I don't, yeah, T. Taylor was talking about you know, I think I've grown more in the last month than I did pretty much the whole first year almost. It's crazy how fast it's gone up. It went up like, I'm like averaging almost 3,000 subscribers a month now. And so yeah, it's amazing. That's just another indicator for me that, you know, I've hit the sweet spot, I guess you will, of what I should be focusing on. And now I'm getting help. People are being sent here to connect to the soul group of us, you know, all of us like-minded, loving individuals that are really wanting to manifest a beautiful, loving earth, a new world, if you will. And I can really see how people are being led here in a divine way, and I'm honored. Like I've said before, I'm so honored to be a part of this, and it's a wonderful feeling. There's so much love coming out of the chat, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being here. Thank you to the moderators, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. I need you guys too. I would. Biker Babe says yes, we definitely need you. I definitely need you all too. I would be nothing sitting here all by myself, right? So I appreciate you guys. Lots of love and light to all of you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.